And we're back.
We're back. So, I can't do that because I have shorts on. All right, so Jim, welcome back, episode 3.
Welcome back yourself.
Welcome you guys back.
Yeah, I'm always here.
We're actually this is our second podcast this week. We shot one on Monday,
that's
and now
when
today.
I got my mic.
Yeah, because we're trying to keep that Thursday schedule. I think that's most definitely what we're going to end up doing. So
eventually, probably
every day.
Every day.
So this week, welcome back to the Everyman Guys. This is episode 3. This week we're talking about hobbies. You have hobbies. I have hobbies. He, she, her have hobbies. Everyone has hobbies. Well, not everyone.
Some people are not hobbyists.
Right. So I think what is that called? Like the setup, not the setup for it, but like the layout? What's the word?
For what?
The format. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. The format for this episode is going to be, I'm going to say a hobby, and then I'll go on about it. I'll let you go first. This time, I'll let you go first.
I asked the question first?
No, so like you'll take one of your hobbies and you'll just say the hobby, and then you'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll take a hobby, and then you'll take a hobby, so on and so forth.
You think that I have more than one hobby? Most people don't.
So,
Joking.
Jim,
I have more than one hobby.
with that being said,
Said thusly.
forthright,
With great malice aforethought.
go ahead and take it away with your first hobby, bud.
Taking it away, I am a avid collector of video games.
And player of video games.
I don't collect them. I play them. I don't really collect. But no, I would say I'm quite the gamer. But it's less now. Well, actually, I mean, not really less now. I'm not a hardcore gamer, I would say. I am you're like,
I'm like middle of the road.
Play
probably
every
on
once
the
in a
lower
while.
side.
I would say I play, 5 days out of the week. I would say.
I would say I play Friday night around like 1 most of the time.
Till 1:25.
That's when you and I get online.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoy stories and stuff like that. So I'm usually a single player gamer. I'm a loner, but when we get on, we'll play multiplayer games a lot. But that's probably my biggest one. I just got obsessed with God of War Ragnarok. I just spent 24 hours playing that. Not straight, but like kind of straight every day. But I like investing my time into it, and when I have free time, that's usually what I'm doing.
I would say like it was like, I guess like once I started getting older, it was like I played video games like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like not most.
As a kid,
younger,
I played all the time.
I played it like crazy, and then it was just like I went for so long without ever playing really, and then kind of when we started hanging out in like 2016, you kind of got me back into it, and then we started playing like multiplayer game, which is something we never did.
Never.
We never played online.
I mean, we would play. We would play co-op, like not online, but we would play. You know what I mean, like with my brothers.
Or like in person multiplayer.
Yeah, with my brother-in-law, we'd play a lot. He kind of got me into gaming. I mean, I was always into it, but I usually play sport games. But he's who got me into actually, hardcore gaming.
Yeah.
The way I am now. So, yeah.
And you got a PS5 for
I got
Christmas.
a PS5 for Christmas from them.
From your girlfriend.
From my girlfriend, yeah. That was great.
A+.
Yes, it
she
was
won
excellent.
Christmas this year. I told her.
I know. She told me you said that. I won last year though, so we're split even. We kind of tied the years before.
yeah, I would say video games. I love playing them, but I just don't.
People don't view them much
time.
of the hobby. But like I think it is because I get a lot out of it. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
That's something like you telling me about like say the like how you view it as like sort of like almost like an art form. Like that was really interesting to me.
Yes, definitely.
Viewing it in a different way.
Definitely.
I think you should tell them.
Well, I just said that it's a lot of people look at it as it's geeks and dorks, play video games, and it's just a bunch of shooting and whatever. But it's if you actually play video games, that it's much more of you play a story video game, or you play it's a story and it's an art. It's just as an art as movies or TV shows or something like that. It's just as artistic, I think, to me, and I would rather play a video game than watch a movie or to watch a TV show, because you get to control, what I mean? You get to do the thing yourself. You get to build the character. You get to do all this stuff by yourself.
Yeah, I think those single player games that you play a lot, like especially them, because they're like movies. They're like pretty much movies.
Yeah, and that's, I love storytelling. That's my biggest thing, is I like storytelling. So if I could sit there and listen to an hour of many hours of somebody just telling me about something, an actual story, like a beginning, middle, and not just about work, but you know what I mean, like I could listen to hours about somebody just telling me an interesting story. So I any art form that comes in, I'm game for, and video games just happen to be my favorite. Yeah,
that's great, Jim. Thank you for sharing that. That's a very heartfelt message.
I felt like
for
therapy. It felt like therapy. Thanks for sharing.
I promise it matters.
It is an art form. I'm not a nerd.
I think calling it an art form makes you more of a nerd.
Definitely. But nerdy isn't an insult.
It's not, especially now. Nerdy's cool. Nerdy's cool now.
Don't say that.
We'll say that cool. for another. We'll say that for another episode.
That's a pet peeve.
You could take an entire episode to do that.
I could take 4 episodes to do that.
That's fair.
Nerdy's not cool.
All right, shall I go?
You shall go.
Okay, we'll keep it like that was like roughly like 5 minutes, so
something like that. But we can talk about it after. We can, some are more interesting than others.
I will lead it off with my most long-lasting hobby, which is drawing.
Yeah.
Which you knew I was going to say that.
I knew you were going to say that because you told me right before.
So
you start with video games. I'll start with drawing. But I knew you were into drawing.
So drawing for me is something that, like, truthfully, I can't even remember not drawing.
Right.
And, like, it was just, I remember, like, sitting in church and, like, always having a notepad and sketching stuff no matter what it was. And just never really stopping until like I got like older and got out of school and started working, and it was just like you're spending your time on other things. But I remember it was kind of just drawing just to draw when I was in like from like before school till like around 7th grade, and then that would be like all hours of the night. I remember one of my friends would come over and basically be at my house pretty much all night, and I would literally just be laying in bed and drawing till like midnight. And that would happen a lot. I just loved to draw. And then right around like, I think it was like, I'll just say like 7th or 8th grade, I remember getting Instagram.
Yeah.
And
I
remember seeing this guy, and his name on Instagram was, I think it was Ivan Hoo. Ivan Hoo, I think was his name. And I remember seeing him posting like really, really realistic drawings of like eyes and like cats and stuff. That was like, I had never seen such a realistic drawing before.
Right.
And it was like so detailed, so much passion that was towards it, and more than just like a sketch on paper.
Yeah.
And ever since that, it was just, every drawing I did at that point from then on was just like hardcore, just as detailed as possible, spend 20 plus hours on a drawing, make it look as realistic as possible. And I did that. I mean, I just started a drawing, not like literally like a month or so ago.
Yeah.
After not doing it for a long time. But yeah, just once it's hit that point where it was like the drawings are like, all right, let's get this as unbelievably realistic as possible.
Yeah.
It was just, the passion for it just went like skyrocketed.
Well, that was some of your first videos on YouTube, wasn't that?
Yeah, I actually have a separate YouTube channel.
For your drawings,
I actually have a separate YouTube channel. And I remember
like
posting
Jarvis Landry and
Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller.
The,
Ice Cream Cone.
And the Zootopia drawing on there. Or maybe not.
I don't know if
I even have an Instagram.
But yeah.
It was just, I I used to think like I want to turn it into like a job somehow, and I got jobs from it.
Right.
I did a couple big drawings for like did one for like the Hilton Hotel, and then a couple like random commission jobs. But it got to the point where, which I'll talk about the next hobby after this, but it got to the point where I started getting into cameras, and like that just took over my brain completely. And since then, it's just been everything like that.
Well, we've said in the first episode, this where we started was we were going to do a comic.
Yeah,
and you were going to draw, and I was going to do the story.
Yeah, there you go. That's
and that was the original idea. That was 2017.
Yeah,
2017, and we had a drawings. You know, you did some sketches of some characters, and I did a rough draft of a story, but it never went through.
Yeah,
but then
that's true. I forgot.
And then you started getting into cameras, which that's not
and that led to the next.
That led to the next thing, and so that was that was originally what we were gonna do, was do a comic.
Yeah.
Like a graphic novel.
So drawing. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's
Jim, I'll let you take on I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer to me. And then Jim, I'll let you go ahead and take on your second hobby. I apologize for the noise. Don't let it happen again.
We could just cut that.
No, we won't. We'll keep it going.
Okay, great. Now I've lost my train of thought.
Your second hobby. Do you have two hobbies?
Yeah, I think so.
Just kidding,
I would say writing. That's the second hobby, because other than what we do, I wrote some short stories. I don't know if I'll ever publish them, but I have some short stories. Eventually, I'll publish. I believe in you. I'll publish one, but I have written a few that are just sitting there that I could. But I would say that's something I enjoy a lot. It's one of my goals is to write a book, write a graphic novel or something like that. Not a graphic novel, just a novel
that you already have an idea for.
I have thousands of ideas. I have a notebook filled with ideas of what I want to write, and it gets to the point where it's like I've written stuff and I've been like, that's good, but maybe I'll just put it away, or that's just for me. I just enjoy, and I just honestly just enjoy sitting down, putting my thoughts on words and into words, and I really enjoy fiction writing a lot. I wrote a cowboy one, a space horror one, a romance. It's just a lot of stuff that like I find interesting in movies or TV shows, and I like to find the details of the writing side and storytelling. Like I said, stories. So I really enjoy, I guess, thinking. Like I'll just brainstorm for a while, think of a character, and just put a bunch of stuff around them. And like I enjoy that, or her.
Like plot building.
Plot building. I love that kind of stuff. I don't even necessarily like writing dialogue for them. I just like the story and the layout of the story. How it progresses, what happens to the characters, and that could be it. I don't even need to write dialogue, because I just enjoy stories so much. So like I just enjoy coming up with a character, coming up with a few characters, the side characters, coming up with something they can go through, whether it be an alien or something horrific, or or like a war, or a relationship, like a romance,
a villain,
all that stuff. I enjoy I enjoy that aspect of it, so I'll write stuff like that all the time. It's I would say that's my other hobby, is writing.
It's very much along the same lines, just like hearing you like explain it is like it's very much along the same lines as drawing. It was like you enjoyed, like drawing for me wasn't just make that look like that. It was like
it's an expression.
Exactly. It very much so is.
It's an expression of what you like and who you are, and
because a lot of your own experiences, I'm sure, come out when you're writing.
Oh yeah, definitely. You put your own experiences into writing, and just like you put your own experience, like obviously, you draw a picture of somebody, people are just like, oh, that's just a picture of somebody, but it means something more to you.
Yeah.
So that's the same with the way I write. It means something more to me than just I wrote a story. It's just it came from my brain.
My brain? Your brain.
A tiny little chef that tells me what to do. Yeah, I would say that's my second hobby.
Writing, that's a good one. Yeah. That's a solid hobby to have, because I feel like there's so much that it's like endless. Not that like most hobbies are, but
no, it's it's more, I would say it's a hobby, but it's more of a passion.
And there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
To grow into something more than possibly just a hobby if you ever wanted to.
Yeah, which is what we're kind of trying.
Yeah, with our short films.
Do with our short films is grow up from a hobby to a that would be our collective hobby is making short films and
yeah.
All right, you're up. You're next.
My turn.
By the way, I'm going to preface this is if we don't cut it off at some point, he will lap me in hobbies. Just saying.
That's okay though.
It is okay. I'm just saying that, like, for you have about 16 things.
I have
going.
a lot of hobbies.
A lot of hobbies. Once he puts his mind to something, it's gonna be an obsession for a few months.
That's
to
fair.
A year.
That's fair. Yeah. So I will just put this right at the forefront. My second hobby. Yeah. Second hobby, I'm gonna go with photography.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean. We'll just say photography. So, photography, I actually didn't get into it. I mean, I guess had like always thought I would get into it, but it was like you're in school and like the opportunity to like buy your own camera and stuff kind of isn't expensive. There. Yeah. But I got my first camera in 2016. Mm-hmm. And I remember saving up for like a $500 Canon SL2. And believe it or not, I got the camera for video. And once I got the camera, I shot, say, a little bit of video. I remember making some short films that were rather terrible with like just music in the background, a whole lot of slow-mo that literally meant nothing. It's like, why would people want to see this? I don't know.
So they were bad.
You said they were good.
I never said they were good. They're okay.
I got it for video and then shot like a little bit, and then I remember just taking a photo of like a stupid soda can, and like it was like a blurry background, and I was like, "Oh, this is sick." I had like a 50 millimeter like 2.8 lens or something, and like it was just. Oh, this is cool. I was like, I bought a photography camera, used it for video, and then what do you know? You take a photo with it. You're like, this is cool.
I love that it just was like, it started this artistic journey. I took a photo of a soda can and they blurred out background.
Man. I remember it was like sitting on my kitchen table, and I was like,
you're like, you know what? At a certain angle, this really looks artistic.
If you close your eyes hard enough, you can't see anything. And then from there, I guess before I even got my camera, I was taking pictures with my phone and with my GoPro.
Right.
And from there, I mean, you can look at my Instagram at William Heilman Photography. I'll tag it below. Plug.
Nice plug.
Photography is just, talk about expressing yourself. Blurry backgrounds are garbage. They mean nothing. What is a blurry back? Sometimes they mean something, but
be careful. There are people who watch it probably like, my blurry background is the coolest thing in the world.
Look at my bokeh.
It's all what you think is cool.
It is, absolutely.
It's not about what other people think are cool.
1,000%.
And that's not like a, whatever. I think I've done that every episode. I think I've done
We've
that.
only done 3.
We've done 3. Okay. I agree, but that's going to be my thing. Say something. Not like society.
I like to preface everything with, it's up to you.
It's up to you. I don't care.
Apologize after
I
everything
do care a lot about what people do.
Anyway, photography was very much so like, oh, if it has a blurry background, it's good. How sharp is the picture? Now it is 1,000%. Just what does that picture do for you? What feeling does that give you? If a picture doesn't have feeling and have like meaning and have purpose, right, I don't think that photo is worth taking.
Right.
Sometimes you like, oh, I just want to grab something. But if you think about it, people might instantly run to, well, what if I'm out somewhere at like a family gathering and something's happening? That's a feeling with me. That's a photo with meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
Those kind of photos. Yeah. And here's the best way that I can describe like how I view photography now is it's always been candid. I think candid is king in my opinion. But it's like, take those spur of the moment photos, say if you're at a family gathering, figure out how to take them better. Figure out how to take them in higher quality, meaning little things. Shoot towards the light. Shoot 35 millimeter where you get certain angles that give off more of a feeling to it. And photography, right now, it's just...
Here's how into photography Will was. We had a 6-friend group at the time that he first got into photography. 4 out of 6 ended up having some Instagram name with photos in it. So photography something or photo something because Will got a Canon SL2. At one point, it took a picture of a soda can with a blurry background. It launched the careers of 3 people.
I like to spread the love. But yeah, photography now is just
You started.
It's like capturing a feeling is just the best feeling in the world, and it's hard to like. I remember seeing certain photos, and like just thinking like it's literally just a wide angle with not much going on, but why does it look amazing?
Right.
And the reason it looks amazing is because it feels amazing.
Right.
And it's like, what is put into that photo? And that's just, I'm completely all in right now, and I can't see that ever stopping. But I'll just cut it right there. That photography, that is my second hobby. Very excited to hear your second.
That was my second.
You already gave your second. I'm very excited.
You were very excited to hear my second. My second wasn't very exciting to you. Well, I mean, I you're getting more into what I really like baseball.
Go for it.
And I really like watching baseball. No, it's not dumb, but it's not really a hobby. Yes, it is. I think it is. I think sports are a hobby. Yeah, but I mean, I play baseball, but not as much as I enjoy just watching baseball. And like, I went to 13 Phillies games this year.
I went to like 10 of them with you.
So actually it was more like 14 or 15. Not to just get higher than, not trying to just get, but like
I actually went to like 11.
Yeah, it's like 42.
It's whatever.
But no, I went to a bunch of games this year, and I hope to go to even more next year. But we went to Washington D.C. To watch a Phillies game.
That was amazing.
It was very, very cool. We left Friday and watched a doubleheader, which is very cool. And that was I want to do more of that this year. I'm planning, to go to a few different places, Boston, Baltimore, local places, not local, but within a reasonable
like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah. And I would say that's something that I miss when it's gone is baseball. Like even when the Phillies sucked, which was every other year except last year.
Every year except 2011 and on.
Yeah, pretty much. But even when they sucked, I loved baseball. My family is a hockey family for the most part. Almost everybody is Flyers is their favorite team. And for a while it was mine when I was a kid because it was my family's. Not just cause I love hockey. Hockey's up there, but it's baseball. Honestly, I would say is my favorite sport just to watch and I just love the whole thing with baseball. Like,
baseball is a whole feeling.
It's a whole feeling, and you have to really understand it to love it. You know what I mean? You really have to you have to understand the game to its fullest to really love it as much. So I would say that's my favorite sport. I love all sports really except soccer. But I would say watching the Phillies and watching baseball, top of my list every year. It's like I want to go to Citizens Bank Park every time they play. Love the atmosphere, just love being at the game, love watching the game. I love playing the game.
Hence, we're shooting a baseball short film.
Ironically,
was my idea.
Ironically, yeah, I know that is strange, but yeah,
you wrote it all.
But one of our other friends is really into the Phillies, and we would talk forever, even when they sucked, about it. Me and Trev would always talk about it. And then I got this year, some last year, but this year Will really got into it. So we started, going to more games together, watching it and talking about it. So it went from up here to a little bit higher just because, you
get more people that are along with it.
Yeah, they were, and their run last year was just so incredible. So I was like, I almost started last year a Phillies podcast. It almost got off the ground, but I couldn't do it by myself. I did not I didn't really, I guess I didn't take the best crack at it, but I didn't really have the right software to do it. And it was rough.
You're trying to do it by yourself too.
Yeah, I was trying to do it by myself, and it really was hard to do. But I don't know what the future holds. Maybe
Never know.
You never know. But yeah, I would say that's my third hobby.
That's a solid one.
Phillies baseball, man.
Sports
in
are
general.
a hobby.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with that.
I think anything you just enjoy. I mean, it's the definition of hobby, but anything you really enjoy and love doing.
I don't know what the actual definition is, but the way I look at it as a hobby is anything that you spend your free time doing and enjoy doing it.
Sleeping.
I would consider.
Never mind. I had to reorder my whole list.
Napping.
That's
a solid number 4.
We just talked about napping. The last podcast.
I will set my number 3 at.
I love how this is a ranking.
It's not. I need to reorder some stuff.
No, it's not. It's just kind of a list of just telling you more about us.
Honestly, I'm almost telling it in the order that I got into them.
Okay.
Almost, but not really, because my next one I was gonna say filmmaking and like videography.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll just lead into that one.
I would say that's you got into that one. Disney
2016. Because I got.
But you didn't really.
Okay, so really into it, probably like 2017.
Yeah. Because you did. When you first started, your first like big video was Disney, wasn't that?
Yeah, that was Disney was the first one that I like. So I'll start at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'll start at the beginning because Disney. That's a good way to start it.
Yeah.
So that was my. Forget the SL2. That was when I got my Lumix GH5. That camera, man, that was like my.
That was a beast.
That was like my baby.
Yeah.
So I got that camera after a year of having the SL2 because it was just like the benefits were so clear to me. And I preach this: you do not buy something until you know you need it, because then you're just going to be buying stuff left and right. What are you laughing? What were you gonna say?
I don't know how many times you've had to convince me, because you were trying to convince yourself the benefits.
It makes sense. I promise.
And I just be like, I get it. I think you should buy it.
I don't need convincing.
Then like the next day, I really just think there's a new thing about the. It's like I think you should buy it.
So yeah, I had the
SL2
for a year, and then got the Lumix GH5, which was amazing. I love that camera. And then once I got that, it was just like my mindset shifted to like, all right, I'm taking this very seriously.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy. Like the camera was so amazing. Mm-hmm. And I took it to Disney. We all of us and our friends went to, and my mom and dad actually went to Disney in 2018.
February 2019.
2018.
No, it was 2019.
Because we went the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
It was 2019.
That was 18.
2019, because they played the Seahawks in 2019 and they lost. They didn't play the Super Bowl that year. Because 2019, then we went in 2020 right before COVID. And we went 2 years in a row.
Okay. So 2019. I took it. I did stuff before that. I did stuff before that with it. But
Yeah.
So I filmed the entire trip and basically just did which you can go watch it. It's on my YouTube. But it is basically just like slow motion video and like some 24 frames per second, a little bit of talking, sort of like a vlog with some like cinematic B-roll with like music and stuff.
Well, your second one's on YouTube. I don't think you posted the first one.
Oh,
Did you post the first one?
Because
the first one has copyrighted music.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Disney music.
You're right. Yeah. So maybe we're talking about the second one, but
no, your first one was. That's very accurate. It was a lot of short, slow motion.
Yeah,
it was.
So it was like the same thing as photography. It was just like the early days of it was like, that looks so cool. Let's put music behind it.
And it did look cool.
Slow motion.
It does.
But then
cool.
like now it's like, I mean, some stuff depends on what you're. Depends on what you're posting it for. Cool. Like. I just posted a few like sports videos that I just thought were cool.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, sports videography. I could get into that. But like mostly what I'm trying to shoot is feeling and emotion and like something that like people can relate to and just get have an emotion towards and have feeling towards. If it doesn't have feeling, like I really am like trying to like move away from that, because the best advice I ever heard is no one cares about your super slow-mo B-roll except you.
Right, yeah.
And like, yeah, if it's like amazing scenery, but like even that, like how many times
Unless
can people
you're a
look at
big
something?
film director.
Exactly.
No one cares.
But even at the beginning of movies, how many times have you like skipped ahead just because it was like, oh, it's just filming the landscape? Never.
Should we say that we were on break?
Yeah, I was just gonna say
We're back.
we do apologize. Our mic died. Not anyone we know, but like our microphone died.
not our mic.
So anyway, as I was saying about B-roll, I just think now it's like I encourage, because as we were talking about like the B-roll not being say for me anymore, like B-roll is just like I don't see.
When we
like,
first started, it was very big. Like we were like, let's get B-roll.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
slow-mo B-roll.
Like you were, now it's more like artistic.
Yeah,
like more
like
what is the purpose of it?
Yeah,
I think is what.
And I guess I would
don't know why
just
I did that,
strongly encourage like anyone that is getting into filmmaking, or like say wants to, or even if you're experienced, if this advice helps you, is like try to think about how people are going to feel when they're watching your work.
Yeah,
like when they see your stuff, like I would encourage you to try to deliver a feeling.
Yeah.
As best that you can, because that really changed the game for me. And it's not going to be every time, because like sometimes you just want to get a shot because it's like a dope looking shot.
And again, this is
but
what you're talking about more is like if you're looking for like people to like follow you and like
yeah, I mean
love
people
your
want
stuff.
people
like,
want to feel
for
something
yourself.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
people want to feel something when they see your work.
Yeah,
like people that can have an emotional response to your photography or your films, that's what's going to keep them coming back for more. And I don't know, it just makes me feel better that I'm not just out there, you know, walk across the frame and I'll follow you and you can kick up dust while you do it.
right.
Like
just because
it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the more that you can deliver a feeling, the better it's going to end up being as an art piece.
Right.
It's like in and of itself.
Yeah, I get that.
But
I get that.
I'm glad you can understand that, because
I already know all these.
I'm talking to them.
You're talking to them.
you.
I already know all. You've already explained this to me for 40 hours plus.
All right, so we're on number 4.
Yeah.
You got a fourth for us? No. And then we're done.
Living life.
Just being real.
Not going to the gym is not right now. That's a callback to our episode 2.
Watch that.
Watch all our episodes here
All
on
2 of
YouTube.
them.
All 2 of them. Now next week will be 3.
We don't go on rants.
We don't ever.
But we
never
will.
ramble.
We will.
I think we should have an episode. Next week's episode is pet peeves, I think. Because I really am talking about my hobbies.
We should do pet peeves about each other. That would be amazing.
We should do that right now.
Why? You have some lined up?
You telling me all your hobbies makes me realize how much stuff you do annoys me. No, I don't have that many. I have some.
I have a lot.
I think we equal out.
What, pet peeves?
Our pet peeves with each other.
I don't know that I have that many.
I don't think we do. I don't have a ton. I have maybe like 2.
I could think of stuff. But
well, everybody. That's the thing that I've always said about friendship is like you know, like everybody has annoying habits. Everybody has annoying things that they do. You just either have to live with it or you can't live with it.
You just don't care about it.
We live with each other's annoying habits that like we don't even realize them. I don't even like if I think about it, I sit there like
I don't even realize that you're late for a lot of stuff, and that annoys me. I don't even care.
That was so passive aggressive. Unbelievably passive aggressive.
I genuinely, honestly don't even care. Sometimes
I didn't ask you to care. I'm not late that much.
You are.
I'm not late that much.
Yes, you are.
For like what?
Are you serious?
Like when?
You're the devil.
If it's like a hard deadline, I'm usually here on time.
Usually just 5 minutes late.
Well, it's not like it's. If it's like, hey, be at my house by like 6:30.
I would just say you're late more than most people.
I will
some
say
things.
Mostly, I am not late for say we got to be here at this time. I'm usually not late for that. If you're like, hey,
usually okay,
you know what I mean? Like if you're driving somewhere, if we're driving for like going out to eat, I'm usually there on time. I would agree, so that we can go on time.
Usually,
if it's like, hey, you'll be here at 7, you know, give me here on 7. I'll be a little late. I sometimes, you know.
You're better than you used to be.
I love how I explain myself. But all we were talking about was hobbies.
Okay, fine. Let's get back. I literally just said we don't go on rants. Okay.
Wait, no, I have to think of annoying thing you do and blast you with it.
I don't do any annoying things.
That is one of the annoying things.
All right.
Okay.
All right, go.
No, I don't really have one.
Yes, you do. Think of it. Just think about
it. I would say making people laugh.
That's a good comedy is a hobby.
It is. But
I'm okay with that.
I don't do comedy on the weekend, which I would love to do. If you know anybody, let me know. But I would love to do stand-up comedy, but I don't really like in my free time be like, that would be a good joke. I mean, actually I do. I have.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't say that's a hobby necessarily. I would say
I think
that's just who I am.
I think it depends on how you view it. Like you could view it as a hobby.
It's not a hobby.
You view it as just being funny, which that's how I view it
as
too.
a personality trait and a God-given gift.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like you could view it as a hobby. Just depends on what you do with it.
Well, I mean, I know people who know me think I'm funny. I don't know if other people think I'm funny.
People that don't know you and never talk to you?
People who have never seen me be funny. I don't know if they know I'm funny.
Oh my gosh. Do you notice how not funny that guy over there is?
I'm just going to vibe from him. I just think he's not funny.
You seem like the type of guy that wouldn't be funny.
You're almost correct. I'm almost never funny.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, not funny. But I would say that's not a hobby. I would say another hobby would be I go to work every day.
Hockey.
I don't play hockey that much anymore.
Maybe you used to.
I used to.
Well, I don't really draw that much anymore.
Yeah, but you just drew an amazing portrait of who was it?
Benjamin Hardman.
Benjamin Hardman.
Well, so you don't have any more hobbies that you want to share with the people? People want to know what you
walks. Like. I don't have that many more.
Here's okay.
You go with number 4, and I'll see what you.
But here's the thing: is that I don't have many hobbies that I'm actively pursuing now, either.
Right. But I think that counts.
You and I are very much on the same page now, as it's like we take our hobby that we care the most and are most passionate about, and for me, it's filmmaking and photography. I kind of group them into one.
Yeah.
And we just give everything we have to them. Like I would still draw, but as of now, it's like I don't want to take away time that I could be doing.
Yeah.
Editing a short film, editing a video, or going out and taking photos.
Yeah.
So it's like the same with you is like writing and directing and like video games, I would say are like kind of right at the top for you. Yeah. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So it's like having that, I think, like I would say once I flipped that switch of like I bought a freaking violin.
I was there. I was there with you. That was early on.
We were still in school, right?
Maybe? I don't think you were.
No,
you weren't because we didn't.
No, I wouldn't have been able to buy a violin if I was still in school.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that was like the last. That was like the first and last time we went to Philadelphia Mills together.
Yeah. So I bought a violin and like learned a few songs on it.
I still haven't heard you play it.
Just from YouTube. I still have it.
I know you still have. I still haven't heard you play it.
But I guess my point of bringing it up is like I had a ton of hobbies when I was younger and in school and like had like all the time in the world to dedicate to it.
Yeah.
So it was like, one, I taught myself how to play guitar. Just YouTube. By the way, if you want to learn a hobby, YouTube is the best thing in the world. Also on there you can follow the Everyman Guys, but it's whatever.
All the time. I don't know why I said all the time.
Like I just
Thursdays, just times that you want to watch a podcast.
But like I used to play piano a lot when I was younger. I still play guitar. You and I will ever occasionally
let out a ballad or
have
two.
a-
I sing a little bit, but I don't.
Yeah.
My brother sings very well, and he plays the guitar, and he's
Yeah.
amazing.
I think that's sort of the same thing as
I
like
think
comedy.
Ken Ring
It's like
guitars, but he's amazing.
Yeah. Tis true.
Tis true.
Tis true.
Tis true. But my sister sings really well. My sister plays the piano. My older sister beautifully plays the piano, and she sings. She's amazing.
You wanted to play the guitar.
I
Remember,
did.
I was going to teach you.
You were going to teach me. My brother taught me a little bit, and I really enjoyed it. But I don't know. I don't have
The passion behind it.
or the patience. I don't know if I don't.
It does
I don't
require
do well.
a lot of patience.
I don't do well with.
Can we go off on a patience rant? Because I have. I said
I
I
don't
am
know
not.
if I have the patience
I
for
am not a patient person when it comes to. Well, that's not fair. Like when it comes to driving, sometimes I can be
When
impatient.
it comes to immediate anger,
It's
driving is for
it's
everybody.
something that I am constantly
Working on.
praying about.
Yeah.
But it is. How could I possibly spend sometimes 30 hours on a drawing? No issue. Sit there. And drawing requires immense amounts of patience because you're sitting there. I mean, the type of drawing that I did, you're sitting there sketching in skin texture for literally 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours at a time. Just sketching it in, just shading. But yeah, it's like the patience doesn't translate to everything else, even though you would think that maybe
I don't have any hobbies that exercise patience. Really. I mean, writing I do. I can sit there and just think about it for hours. That's probably
but
the
at
one.
least for writing, like you're constantly moving on to the next thing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
But like video game, there's no way. Like literally the other day, I threatened my controller, my inanimate object of a controller. I told I was going to throw it into just throw it against the wall and see what happened.
Verbal assault to your Xbox controller.
I was very upset. I think I was very annoyed.
I think it's you have patience for what you want to have patience for.
That's not true. I want to have patience for everything. I just don't.
Yeah, but you don't care enough.
Patience.
No. I mean,
patience is the best thing in the world because once you just realize, okay, it's not.
Once you
exercise patience, everything's clearer. Once you rage out like a maniac, everything's just done. You're broken for the next hour, and most people are broken for the next 3 weeks. But you know what I mean? Like work. Like if you can exercise patience, it's amazing. But when you can't, it's just
when you don't.
I feel like sometimes patience feels better, but in the moment, just
patience.
I will break you. I will destroy you. That's better. That feels better.
Being patient requires patience.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Ironically, but it's true.
I'm not a very patient person. I would say.
I think everyone.
You are much more patient than I am. Not with driving, I would say. But even like with sports, you were not very much
patient.
Between us two, you were not.
I don't know if you are patient in sports.
No, I'm saying I'm not, but you were much more. But now, you're like Zen compared to I mean, I'm not terrible. I'm not one of the
in sports.
I'm not.
Well, it's because
terrible. I would say
because now it's like
when
I literally
sports,
just play basketball, and I love basketball.
Right.
So that is something that I'm just thoroughly enjoying. And like before, it was like you would just play any sport because the He-Man in you wanted to be like, oh, I want to be better than everyone else. So you're not actually doing something that you love. You're more doing something to exert your dominance over other athletes that are playing the sport with you.
Something that taught me patience was a hobby. I was playing hockey.
Hockey taught you patience?
Well, it taught me
I think that tattered your patience.
It did, but one taught me that I should be a little bit less apt to throw my stick. I threw my stick against the boards and it bounced back into my skates and tripped me, and I fell on my face as I was angry. And that really was. I was like, it can't be that angry where I. It was Dude, embarrassing. So like,
I stopped playing hockey because I was just like I literally every game I would literally just get done and be like
so angry.
I am furious.
I know.
It was just you would just give everything you had, and like hockey was like we were like a hockey family too. Yeah. It was like outside. You're outside with the with that hard tile mat, shooting on the net,
Yep.
practicing your stick handling. And it was just like, I remember just every game I would just be furious. I'm like, this is not good for me.
No,
it's, like,
it's not healthy.
So I literally gave up on it because I was like, it's not benefiting me in any way. It's not helping me with trying to be a better person in general. And sometimes it's like it's hard to
As you
see
get older,
it.
it's more about being a better person than being.
And it's hard to
good
see
at
it.
Something.
It's hard to see it when you're like, when like that's really all you got going on, or like whatever. But like, thankfully, like finding like photography and videography, like kind of like I don't even play basketball as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And I just feel better.
Yeah.
I just feel better like leaving that behind and like focusing on stuff that genuinely makes me happy and not stuff that
like our podcast, the Everyman Guys, coming every Thursday.
Yeah, that you can actually watch on YouTube.
See, this is something cool. Now we can kind of funnel all our frustration through Mike.
Yeah, right. We should have rant episodes.
Just every Tuesday, we're just gonna have
rant
an episode
Tuesdays.
where the
we don't listen. We let all the emotion build up throughout the week.
I love how the first 2 episodes we're like, yeah, and I'm fitness. You know, we go to the gym, and we eat right, and now we're just like, you know what pisses me off about driving?
You know what I hate?
We're getting more comfortable with the viewing audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that that's something that when you have hobbies, let's circle back to hobbies.
We'll circle back. We circle back last episode.
We'll
We'll
circle
circle
back.
back this episode too.
With hobbies, you have to have an extreme amount of patience to learn how to do something. And I think that's something that holds a lot of people back. It holds me back with hobbies is you have to have an absurd amount of patience. Maybe it's not absurd. Maybe I just think it's absurd. But you have to have a ton of patience and discipline and commitment to do it. And not everybody can do that. And it's fine. Like some people just don't have hobbies. But, you know, secretly they enjoy doing stuff. But, like,
yeah. And
what's a hobby? So that's kind of what you define as a hobby. But, you know, it takes a lot of devotion. It takes a lot of time. And if you love it and it's really a hobby, then that's...
And here's the thing.
Then it's going to be easy.
That is very true. And here's what I'll say to all the young listeners, because we know there are young listeners.
We're young listeners.
We are.
We're 23.
That's fair. I'm 24.
24.
By the way,
if
you didn't know that.
24,
but
23.
To all the young listeners, try, you know that song from Zootopia where she says, try everything?
Yeah.
Try everything. My mom always used to tell me every time I would bring up about like, I'm thinking about whatever, always said, go for it. You should do it.
Right.
Because you have no idea what you're going to stick with as you grow up and as you move on to like bigger and better things.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's going to stick. At the time, you might think you do. Like I thought I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna make like guitar videos. I'm gonna get really good at playing guitar or piano. And now it's photography and videography, which I only got into like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And so,
who knows?
So like,
who knows? 5-6 years from now,
if you're young and listening to this, like, try hobbies. Don't be afraid to try new things because you never know what's gonna stick.
Yes.
And those skills could very much so translate
to some,
for example, patience.
Yeah.
You learn patience from hobbies, and trying everything just gives you a bunch of different views and a bunch of different skill sets that even if you don't stick with that, it still could be very beneficial sometime in the future.
Definitely. And surround yourself with people who support your hobbies and support your what you want to do. Don't surround yourself with people who are just like, no, you're going to suck.
And also don't surround your people.
Do that,
but don't surround yourself with people that
just want to. If you want to do something and somebody else is telling you not to do it, I mean, obviously, you know, if they have a valid reason, you know what I mean? But like, if you just want to do something artistic or do something that you're like, hey, I have an interest in, surround yourself with the right people that either support you or do it with you. Yeah.
And also like, just give you like get you excited to do it.
Yeah. That's
like I love hearing about, say, you tell me, like, you'll occasionally tell me about like, oh, I'm thinking about this short story.
Yeah.
I genuinely love to hear that.
Right. Yeah.
Like you need people around you.
You need a support system.
You need a support system.
You
need people around you that are going to, I think the correct terminology is like that will like hype you up about it.
Yes.
And like be your biggest fan on it.
most of our ideas start out like this small, and then we go to each other with it, and it's just like, I was thinking this. Oh, we could do this. Oh, and it just snowballs. And almost every single we talked about doing a podcast, and we were not sure what we were gonna do, and then you were like, what if I asked a question? And I was like, oh, we could have a topic and ask questions, and it just snowballs from there. So have people around you that support you and actively care about what you're interested in.
Yes, like they should be. If they are really a friend and really care about you, they should help you move forward with what you.
They don't have to share that hobby with you.
No, absolutely not.
But they just have to be supportive and be on. You know, be supportive and support you in that endeavor.
Like most, I don't know if this is along the same lines, but most of our short stories, most of our great ideas start like this. Jim goes, so here's what I'm thinking. Or he'll start and not really have like something to go on.
Yeah.
And then I'll start poking, say, well, like, what if like this? What if this? And then all of a sudden it like the director and writer in you is just like it clicks, and then you get up, you're like, all right, everyone calm down. I have an idea.
I pace around the room.
Dude, like every time I'm like, I know that all I need to do is just say the right thing at the right time, and then it's gonna go off, and then you're gonna start, the wheels are turning.
Exactly.
Like, all of our short films so far, it's literally like every time it's just like you get stuck because like you normally have like a good flow, you're normally going with it, but as soon as you get stuck, I literally just every single time it works. It's just like it's just like I'll start throwing words at you, like literally anything, and then all of a sudden I can see it clicking. I'm like, I literally will say to you, "It's happening. It's happening."
There's movement. There's movement.
Yeah.
There's movement in the brain.
So moral of the story is to be like heartfelt is surround yourself with the right people, because if you do, it's going to make
each other's eyes as we said that. It's awkward.
Now it's
awkward.
We have to cut.
We have to be done this. I don't support this anymore.
Surround yourself with people that are going to take interest in it and ask you about it.
Yes.
You shouldn't have to be going to them.
And be the person who asks about it. Be the person who's supportive. If you have an
opportunity to when someone comes up and asks me about filmmaking or photography, like that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity to be that person, absolutely
reach out and do it. You know, like I love
friendships will form.
I love when people that like we're close to, or like, you know, Paula or whatever, should be like, oh, I'm doing this, and I just you know, I genuinely care about her, so I want her to succeed, and so I'm gonna ask her questions about it. I'm like, and I support her 100%, and it makes it, it makes you feel good about it, and it makes them feel good about it, and when you know that when you come up with something that you want to do, they're gonna support you 100%.
Yes,
and it's.
Dude,
like this podcast, how many people reached out and were like, yo, this is, you know what I mean? People we know. So, like, you know, be that person.
Like, most of the time when you and I are even talking about, like, sorry, you don't shoot video. Like,
right.
But you still ask me about it. We still have genuine, great conversations about it. It's not just like, hey, Jim, I was doing this. And you're just like, cool.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Awesome.
Right. Cool. Anyway, what I was doing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's not like that. Like,
genuinely care.
Yeah, exactly. And like if you genuinely care about someone else, it's like you should get like a joy yourself just hearing them be excited about what they're passionate about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's I hold that very true. Like like Paula was just showing me some of her wedding photography that she just did, and it was just like I felt like I was a part of that, just because like I'm excited for her,
right?
Or like, say if you're writing a short story, like you told me about like book ideas that you had, like I genuinely get excited about that because it feels like we're like in it together.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have that opportunity to be that person, don't just wait for someone to do that for you. If you have that opportunity to be that person, go be it, because people love. That's a good feeling to have. Yeah, that other people are interested in what you're interested in.
Hyping other people up is a noble cause.
Agreed.
A noble cause. So this is about hobbies, but I think we nailed it, because I think that was nice. We did our hobbies, and then we just talked about stuff surrounding hobbies. I think
Yeah,
that
we're
works.
closing in on an hour, and we're not going to be cutting anything. So,
Yeah, very little.
and I kind of covered the hobbies that I cared the most about.
Same.
The hobbies that I kind of brought in and then kind of left on the road were like, not that I left them on
Side
the road, but like,
yeah,
it's
more like
hey, I might get into that when
Yeah.
I'm 50.
right,
but-
exactly.
So I introduced this episode, so I'll close it out.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. We just released, depending on when you listen to this, we just released episode 2 on our YouTube, the Everyman Guys. And if you aren't following us on Instagram, you should go do that for sure, because before every episode, we're going to be posting on there to let you know that we posted. So
And we're going to be trying to post more during the week.
Yeah. So the best way to be informed and to be like one of the first ones to know when we post is to follow the Instagram, because we're going to post it and then go right to Instagram and say, hey, follow this link. So go follow the Instagram at the Everyman Guys, and YouTube,
Sorry.
the Everyman Guys. It's okay.
Every time you say the Everyman Guys.
The
I have to
Everyman Guys.
Underline the Everyman.
So thank you for watching episode 3. Episode 4 again next Thursday.
Coming out next Thursday.
Again, if you guys have ideas, we said this in the last episode. Any ideas that you have,
Leave them
let
in
us
the
know
comments.
in the comments.
Yes. And
Direct message us on Instagram.
Yes, we will be trying to answer every comment.
Yes, we will. We will answer every comment
because we're small right now, so
absolutely
we want to keep getting
Yeah.
nice base going with our fans of right now.
and leave
so-
us a good comment below.
Yeah,
Leave us a
let us
good
know what you
comment.
thought of it.
Yeah,
know,
let us know.
be-
What was your favorite part of this
Be
episode?
polite, but let us know. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of this episode?
Or if you learned
and then let
something
us
or
know
you
what
felt
your
something
hobbies
or-
are. There's
Yeah.
a lot that they're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
So maybe take a notepad.
Yeah, write a list.
Let's go back. Let's start over. Get a notepad. There's a lot that you need to do. So maybe just pause the video, write it
As we
down.
go.
Just do all the things.
Don't think that we're doing all the work here. You
Yes.
have to
This is
fulfill
a
your
team effort,
obligation
team effort.
by watching us.
Do all the things, and we'll catch you in the next
We'll
episode.
catch you in the episode. Your reward for doing all the things. You get
Peace.
another episode of the Everyman Guys.
Peace.